As a landlord, understanding security deposit law is important, but it can get confusing. So let's break down some key points to know about Maryland security deposit law for your tenants. If you're outside of Maryland, I would recommend checking to see how this information differs in your state. Let's start with the maximum amount of security deposit that you are able to charge, which is 2 months rent. The average though that I'm seeing is about 1 month's rent, but in Maryland you do have the ability to ask for up to 2 months. So let's walk through a tenant experience in terms of security deposit once an applicant has been accepted. Landlords must provide tenants with a written receipt of the security deposit that was given to them within 30 days of receiving it, or you could face a fine. That receipt must include details on the tenant's right to inspect the property and receive a refund. During the course of the lease, the security deposits must be held in an interest-bearing account in Maryland. It cannot be commingled with any other account or in your operating account or even a personal account. It needs to remain in the account through the life of the lease. But when the lease concludes, the landlord must pay tenants the interest earned annually. Maryland changed the interest given to tenants several years ago, and it can make calculating interest difficult if you've got a tenant who's been with you for a lengthy amount of time. A tool we like to use and we found on Maryland Realtor's website is called the Security Deposit Calculator. It takes into account the rate of interest that's paid on your security deposits between October 2004 and December 14, which was 3%, and before 2003, the rate which was 4%. Landlords should do a walkthrough immediately after the end of their lease period and provide that detailed move-out inspection. I'd recommend including photos and area highlighted for the tenant damage. From the date of the lease termination, you have 45 days to return full security deposit plus that interest, or provide a written list of damages and the actual cost to repair them. This is not the time for a wish list of repairs to be done on that tenant's dime. The move-out photos need to clearly show any damage compared to the move-in photos or the ones that were taken at the beginning of the lease. If a landlord fails to follow the security deposit law, they forfeit the right to withhold any portion of the deposit and may owe the tenant up to 3 times the amount wrongfully withheld, plus reasonable attorney fees. Tenants have the right to request a walkthrough inspection within 15 days of moving in, and they do have the right to be present at the move-out inspection as well to assess any damages. Security deposits can only be used for the unpaid rent, damages beyond normal wear and tear, and costs incurred if the tenant breaches the lease. By understanding these complexities of the law, you will be sure to avoid costly legal battles when it comes to security deposits. The most important part of being a landlord is knowing and abiding by the tenant-landlord laws in your state.